Hi, welcome back to Rainbows and Razor Blades. By the Gregorian calendar, it is currently the 8th day in the 5th month, the month of May, in the year of the Lord, 2023. Today's episode will feature 5 rivers in New York. I forget the specific town. A quick warning before we get going. Warning, I am not an expert. My show is not educational and should be considered a psychotic, active disinformation campaign. The following program is recorded live and is not intended for children. This program may contain dark and graphic themes that may be distressing for some viewers and against the terms of service for some platforms. The themes and opinions expressed in this program should be considered entirely fictional and should not be used for political or academic purposes. Facts are not checked, and no sources or citations will be provided. Should you choose to redistribute, please do so only in good faith. Thank you again for joining us. Viewer and listener discretion is advised. On today's episode of Rainbows and Razor Blades, we're going to be taking a very close look at violets and geranium. And it is one of the tattooed flowers that I have on my leg. I had a really good day. I mean, it's already happened. That's the thing. It's kind of weird to put this here, but this is like the outro. But I'm doing it as like the intro because yeah. So stay tuned. Thanks for joining. We'll be right back after this. On today's episode, I already can tell you ahead of time because I'm actually back in my car. On today's episode, we will not see any of these animals. But these are animals you could see out here. There's also other ones. There's like frogs and birds and owls and all sorts of stuff. This is just I guess mammals. And even that, there's moles and there's mice and there's raccoons, there's a possum, there's different types of flying squirrels out here. There's a bunch of cool stuff. There's snakes and stuff too, but that's not a mammal. There's the chupacabra. I mean, this show is Rainbows and Razor Blades, so I'll tell you a fake story. So the fake story is that they didn't fill my medication, and that's why I am the way that I am. The true story is that I didn't fill my medication, and so I am where I am. Right? But that's not what your friend tells you where they make up the story. So the made up story is that I'm just out here because I'm off my meds, I'm not dangerous. The police don't need to be involved in not doing anything illegal. Ew. Dude, come on, really? Can you get out of my entire energy area, please? No. Come on. Hey, shoot. Where'd he go? I don't want to crush him. There he is. Yeah, he's just pretending to be dead, that's fine. I don't know what this is. I looked it up. My brain's not working, my phone's not working. I'm pretty sure this one's Oriental Bittersweet. Pretty darn sure. Pretty darn. I'd like to rip it out, but I could be wrong and I'm not going to do it. But I'm pretty darn sure. Same with that one. But I don't know what this is. And if you don't know what something is, you shouldn't tell people. And I've made that mistake on this channel last year. And I don't really want to make it again this year. At least going forward. My old content is what it is. But the new content going forward is going to be... I need to find a specialist. Because I'm not one. And if I put specialist information, I'm giving out specialist information. That seems rude. That's kind of cool. We're at 5 Rivers today. I have a call that I'm waiting to go back onto, but I'm skitzing out a little too much. And you can't use that word because you're not technically diagnosed, and that takes away from real medical diagnoses, and it's cringy, and they stay mad. I don't really know if there's a greater sin than this. But within the context of the woods, I think this is one of the more sinister things that people truly believe is okay. It seems very criminal, and it's very sad. And thankfully the tree is still alive, but it's would you do that to somebody's skin? Because you're doing it to the skin of every single person's perception that sees that tree, and it doesn't bring the tree to shame. It's damn, what a shameful tree. No, Someone did that to the tree, and it's a shame that we did that to the tree. I haven't been filming much today because, like, honestly, my thoughts, even if I verbalize them, are too psychotic to, like, even really try to put comprehensively to words at the speed that it would and the density that would matter. So I just haven't really been trying. So I'm going through this swamp today. I feel bad. Like, I feel like this is definitely off-pathing. Oh, maybe not. Actually, I stand corrected. This is very much on path. Dude, I don't want to disturb it too much, so I'm going to do this once. Look at that. That's Jack in the pulpit. Let me see if I can really get it, like, focused. Yeah, dude, look at that. Yeah, I don't want to keep disturbing it too long, but, like, that's Jack in the pulpit. Yeah, because you don't want to stress the plant. Like, if every single person that came out here every single day did that to the plant, it would kill the plant. So, like, I don't know. I feel kind of bad, but I did also want to show you it. Yeah, look at that. Maybe I didn't even need to lift it. I should be more of mind. This stuff is jewel weed. This is all mandrake. This is the most mandrake I've ever seen. This is the coolest new path. Seriously, guys. You know, don't trample everything, but this is a marked path. Like, it was, like, surprisingly, you know, like, it's definitely a path, but there are some parts that are, like, I think they may have moved them. This may even just be like a newer path, like maybe like 2 years old. I'm thinking 3, 4 even years old, since they, like, sawed that down. That's probably when they put this here. So, like, but some of this, man, like, it's a really fun path. So I'm gonna show you some plants here. So this is geranium, but I don't know exactly what type. I don't know if it's cranebill or woodland or what the exact genus or species is, and I really wish that I did and knew how to differentiate. And that's something I'm going to put time into learning this year, and maybe come back to this and revision. But I know for a fact that just like last year, I didn't necessarily know what this was. This year, I have this one tattooed on me. I'll show you. Just gotta be careful where I put my foot. See? It's a little bit out of scale, a little bit, but the hope is that there are some this big. There actually are. They're just not those species with that exact type of leaf. So it's a bit of an amalgamation. But I really like these buds. And that means they will open up too. So that's geranium. And there are multiple types of geranium. So I got to figure out which specific geranium that this is. Here we go. There's more. So we aren't even going to break like we usually do. We're just going to, right in the mud. We're going to move right over here. I'm trying to find a path where I won't crush things, but it doesn't look like I'll be able to. So maybe, yeah, there we go. Right up ahead on the path without even stepping off. But yeah, we're continuing. The North Loop. Dude, I don't think I've done the North Loop in ever, really. This is lit. To Service Road. Hell no. We looping. We looping. I'm not going to go back and do it. And I'm sure they know, but, like, you see this is like Oriental Bittersweet. You see what I mean by it's like a vine? But it's mostly the root that you're fighting. Don't get that far off the path and no one will take notice. You don't want to give people the idea of pulling things up, because most people don't know things or how to identify things. If I did nothing else but teach a class on Oriental Bittersweet for one day, a week, for a whole season, I would be so happy. Here's the thing. I can pack a bowl. But I could pass a background check. As far as I know, like, there's nothing in my background that would lead me to believe that I wouldn't pass it. The only type of thing that, like, might flag is the fact that, like, I'm not using my birth name, and I'm not going to use my birth name or provide my birth name. And if you run a deep enough scan on me, you're not going to find a criminal element. You're going to find a sealed court record that says that I was born as a different person. Like, I have a new social security number, so I don't have to disclose that. But here's the thing, I'm trans. Everyone fucking knows that that's exactly what the story is. Anyone who, like, even, like, scratches superficially at that is gonna know that. Because, like, there's no such thing as privacy. There really, really isn't. Like, because there was no privacy for me up until the point where, like, what? Because the court ordering it, change name, just because the databases don't have it, doesn't mean that they don't know exactly who you are and who you were the next day. At some level, and that data can be aggregated and sold. And it can be sold lawfully. And not only can it be sold lawfully, it can be bundled. And if it can be bundled, it can be specified. And if it can be specified, it can be search optimized. And if it can be search optimized, then it can be hyper-specified. And if it can be hyper-specified, they can sell individual searches, and this is exactly what they do. This is what the business model is. They can sell background searches to their data platform that they know who is who and who has done what and who is who to who. And you can't tell everyone else that you even have that information, so you have to make it very secreted in terms of like pass or fail. Like you can get the extended profile, but it'll just show things like might show risk for extremist tendencies. Of course they're going to flag me with that. You want to know what my extremist tendencies are? I support, and I will say this publicly with my face, I publicly support transgender children. That's an extremist belief, believe it or not. You can actually get on certain type of failure background checks. They can fail your background check if you come up with having had said something about that in the last however many years that they specify, or that some random company that you don't know specifies, or depending on how biased that they are, whether they make up and lie about because they know that they can just flunk you out of existence, the same way that they can trash your credit score by just doing identity theft. They're not going to do that to me. Surely not. Surely they would never discover my new name and my old name, that's one social security number. Surely they would never do that. Surely not. I like that they have the path marked, or at least something marked. So, teaching about informational security, not really something that I want to do. I don't want to use like fancy acronyms to teach people stuff. I want to teach people basic structural thinking, and if you can't do that, because I can't really do that, then you can at least teach them systems analysis. And if I can teach them my analysis structure, I think that they would have a lot to gain from the world. I really do. They'd also become paranoid data security experts overnight. What is this? I mean, that's a pretty obvious, like, something or other. Maybe a gas line or something. You know, because I see this, like a survey mark. It's definitely something. Maybe I'm really off the property line at this point. That'd be my guess. Like, hey, this is as far as humans go. Hey, I don't know where I am, what relative to other things. So I am going to backtrack to the trail. But my guess is that this is the property line, because it's pretty obvious, you know. Like an entire line of trees in a straight line that goes this way. That are just bright yellow, and the pink ribbons and stuff. So I'm gonna take that as my opportunity to start going back this way. I think pink was the warning. I think the yellow is the actual line. That's my guess. Yeah, I guess here's more. Well, thankfully the red trail is only like a couple of yards back this way. Ooh, geranium. Woodland geranium. So there's two types of radicals. There's the types that know that they're radical, and there's the types that don't know that they're radical. Like, up until a couple of years ago, I really didn't feel like I was that radical. I was like, yeah, you know, there's definitely going to be a bit of controversy about whether or not kids can consent. But, that bridge when we get there. Little did I know that was going to be the firestorm of the nation. I genuinely would have thought it would have been like a back pocket issue. You know, like, hey, you know, every once in a while, I didn't realize that it was going to be this, like, whole fringe theater, which makes sense, you know, like, to manufacture some type of outrage towards something. We come out here, and we save as much of the trees as we can save before it's already too late, but we save as much as we can save while it's already too late, you know? It is what it is. You can't prevent it from showing up. It's here. It's doing its thing. See, I can't get up there and unwrap it. I need a ladder. It was so cool. I've never been here before. I don't remember this being here at all. This is fantastic. I mean, it's just super average woods, but it's just so much acreage that, like, you just, like, don't really have to deal with anybody else doing anything else. Oh wait, is this the way I came? I'm pretty turned around, I'm not gonna lie. I believe this one. Let me see if I can get close enough. First of all, there's a violet right next to my foot, so that's kind of cute. See that? I'm not gonna focus on it this episode. Oh my goodness. Maybe I will. Cool. But this one right here is the cutest strawberry I've seen all year. Cute little strawberry plant. We're at Five Rivers today. So here's an interesting thing. So you heard me rant last time about how I always kick these over. This is an exception, and actually the reason it's an exception is because this area is permanently claimed by humans. I'm not gonna kick this over any more than I'm gonna go kick over a trash can in a park, you know what I mean? It's like, it isn't litter, it's not harming anybody, it's just kind of balancing, and it's just kind of here. So it's not intruding on anything, and like the same exact argument is usually made by the people who defend, you know, rock making out in nature. And actually someone has committed an even more horrible sin, which is littering, because there's nothing that, this blue is litter. Nothing is that blue. Nothing. Yeah, a little bit of plastic. So it's actually not littering, it's just like, what am I gonna do? Get mad at the person who did this? This is adorable. But, unfortunately, knocked that one over. And the reason for that is because this is nature, right? Like, disturbing nature, you're perfectly welcome to do it, right? Like, and I'm not even mad that that person did it and left that there. I'm really not. I just was the next thing to come around, and I returned nature to entropy. That's the natural course of nature. And so I just happened to be the most powerful natural force out here. So I returned it to chaos. I'm not destroying property. I'm not, you know, harming the ecosystem. I'm just returning entropy to its natural state of kind of just like dissonance, honestly. Just like, you know, rocks are just chilling, but there's a ton of energy in rocks. A ton. You don't believe me? Watch this. You don't think a rock is powerful? I missed, but that's because I was holding my phone. It's not because I'm bad at throwing, I swear. Here, I'll try again. Noise is the big consideration for this one. Let me look around, see if there's any people. Because I don't want to spook any people. I don't care if I spook the chipmunks once or twice. Like, oh no, a loud sound, whatever. See what I mean? That's a lot, you know? Like here's another thing. You shouldn't do this. Don't copy me. This is bad for the ecosystem, but I'm gonna do it. Yeah, that's a lot of energy, you know? That's a lot. Look at the ripples. Look how much of an effect that there is. And in the moments that, you know, preside, that's not the right word, but in the moments that come after, the energy continues to ripple out. You have a much greater effect on things, I think, than people realize when you do simple things like that. Like, that could have just disturbed, like, nesting crayfish or something. Or, like, I don't know, some salamander could have gotten spooked or crushed even. How terrible a fate to befall it. But, like, I wouldn't just go over and, like, kick this geranium over. I wouldn't do that. But when it comes to, like, rocks and people's sculptures, well, someone built that. They put time into it. Good. That's great. Then go do that somewhere where humans already are. That's here. That's fine. Like, I'm not going to kick this over. I could. I wouldn't feel like an asshole for doing it. I just don't care. I think it's kind of cute, actually. I may even add to this because it's appropriate. Okay, listen. there's a little tiny bit of an argument that like the rocks are out of its environment in human environment. You shouldn't take rocks out of the environment. But like, bro, if that's the argument that you got, come on. I think this is kind of nice. I think balance shrines are perfectly well justifiable to build, and I actually find them relaxing to watch people build. I don't personally like to play around with them. I do other balance things in my own head to kind of just keep my balance, but I get it, I do. And yeah, so I'm gonna go add to it, and eventually maybe someone will copy it, and so many stones will get taken that it'll become unreasonable, and someone else will come and throw them all back. You know? And if that doesn't happen, certainly I promise you that the flood will take it. You know, the flood may not come for 50, 60 years, but when it does, okay, half these trees, all of this is going, all of that's going. There will be no recognizable fact that there was a path. There'll just be debris spew. Because look, I mean, look how far up that goes. Right? That's the, look, see what I mean? Like when this floods, man, this floods. You can tell. So here, let's add to it and then we'll get going. I may remove this. This is the problem. This one was okay, but we gotta go get a flat one. Actually, I just don't care that much. I just don't care that much. So I actually feel kind of bad about that one. Like, oh no, what if the humans don't get to see it? What if the next person could have enjoyed it, Sarah? Priestess. What if? What if I flipped the bench over and did graffiti and carved a tree? Like, people find the dumbest shit to get angry about. They really do. And it's funny because you can break people, and this is today's episode theme, right? That's the reason I started telling this like psychotic story and then kicked it over. What I mean to illustrate is that you can take a thing that people are already kind of like quote unquote marginalized or extremified on, and you can break them into smaller pieces. It doesn't usually promote solidarity. It's like, do we want to differentiate between, this is really nice, between people who drive trucks or people who drive electric trucks versus gas trucks? Like, personally, I don't want to have that discussion. I want to ban trucks. And the distraction of, well, do derp. Hold on, I gotta film this. Let me get out of the way. This one that I'm about to touch right here, you have to be crazy to do that. That's poison ivy. And then this one is I forget, it's violet. But yeah, this is poison ivy. So now I gotta like wash it off. Bum bum bum. So I'm an idiot, right? I washed it off with my water bottle when the water's right next to me. I'm like, why am I so dumb? I like the noise. You know, I'm a very minimalist packer because I don't stay out that long and I don't need much. So like, I'm always like close to a car, or I can always call 911. Like always, you know, I have a cell phone. It's fucking crazy. So I just kind of come out here, you know, talk to some bugs. It's better than working at Walmart. And for the people who are unfortunate enough to have to work at Walmart, like, I'm sorry. My dad pays my bills. I'm not proud of it. I'm trying to, quote unquote, do better, but better for me is still disability. It's like, it is just the case. So I'm going this way now. I just came out of the woods behind me. That's where like the stream and everything was that we were seeing, the geraniums and all that. Now I'm in like a totally different ecosystem. The app seems to confirm that this is yellow rocket cress. That's what I thought. Like, let's go this way. Like, that's what I thought. I just kind of think that's what it is. This is the one that you'll see like everywhere on the side of the road. And yeah. This is kind of cool. You know, this is obviously exactly what it looks like, a walkway. You know, this one's got a railing and everything. So I wonder where they'll end up putting these. Maybe probably, you know, somewhere around here or something. But obviously they're not going to go here. I mean, this is ridiculous. This doesn't fill with water. What would be the point? It's cool seeing them before they like get there, you know, as they're being like maybe even built. Kind of cool. Arriving in pieces. Who knows where they're made or what they're made of or how much it costs. But it can't be cheap. This thing's kind of cool. I wish I had brought like lunch. I wasn't expecting to walk here, so I just like didn't plan. I planned to go right back home. So I didn't even finish breakfast. I was like, I'll eat that when I get back. But then now I barely even have eaten breakfast. And I'm like walking around using up all my energy for the day that I was supposed to use biking. And I'm not upset about it. I'm just upset that I can't stay longer because I just didn't prep for it, you know? It just wasn't in the plan. I just didn't look ahead far enough. My hat's almost flying away. Oh my goodness. Oh, a helicopter. So I'm not 100% sure what this is, but it could be, oh man, I really don't know. I forget what this is called, but it's absolutely gorgeous. It looks like there's another little one here, next to the Oriental Bittersweet, which I'm gonna remove. Both of them, actually, because it's starting to go. So that'll now stop competing with this.